morning, everyone. I'm glad to see you on our second webinar dedicated to the hybrid approach in project management. In August, we have launched our first webinar dedicated to the general ideas, general approaches in project management for embedded systems. We spoke already about importance of integration between hardware and software. And today I will show you some tricks, tips, how to make your project management style more efficient and implement hybrid techniques. So let us start. On previous webinar, we already spoke about compatibility paradigm. We have discussed why it's so difficult to manage embedded systems. So we will talk about this topic again. I will show you the advantages and disadvantages of Scrum in embedded systems and why it's so difficult to manage hardware development. Also, we will clarify your project management approach. As a project manager, you always become a new project on your table, and which style select for your project and how to decide your approach in a new management process. So I will show you a set of questions to be answered and select your own style. Then we will look at hybrid project management. I will introduce how it works, how it combines with classical and agile project management. Then we will compare the mindsets in classical and agile project management. Also, then we will compare them to hybrid mindset. I will show the classical hybrid project management approach, and then we will come in several methods in hybrid project management as combination of agile and Kanban, agile ban, combination of classical waterfall and agile model, water agile fall, and combination of software development V model with agile, so V agile model. And last but not least, but I show you our current Hitex example in our current project this year. We are working in hybrid project management. So we will look together how it works and what are our tricks as a Hitex. So let us start. Compatibility paradigm. To be honest, Scrum development works very good, very effective in software development. But when we are talking about hardware development, it's quite difficult because the key factors in hardware development are a little bit other. The time boxing of your project has a little bit another limits, so it's quite difficult to manage your hardware development with a Scrum. But in any case, if you want to manage your embedded system project with software plus hardware development, you must start with efficient project infrastructure. It means that think first about your development and operations. Which issue tracking system would you like to select? At which server would you like to work? Which static code analysis tool will be chosen for this project? Code coverage tool for how many percent you will need to perform your code coverage, for how many percent branch coverage. You must decide and calculate everything in advance. And of course, multi-stage integration. We already know the V model in software development and in embedded system development, which starts with concept definition, requirements specification, architecture, design, detailed design review, preparation, implementation, software, and then testing phase. After testing, we are going to verification and validation. So in implementation phase, we have multi-stage integration. It's always very important to have several steps in your hardware and software integration to ensure that the compatibility between both of your embedded system parts works properly. So please think in advance about your multi-stage integration, about guidelines, how to prepare it, and of course, guidelines, how to handle it. The second important topic, probably more harder, is embedded hardware management. On last seminar, we spoke about design reusability and coding guidelines, or in general, let's say, development standards within your organization. Please pay attention on your hardware management as a part of development process. Pay attention on design reusability, functionalities in simulation of your hardware, You can choose model in the loop, software in the loop, or virtual hardware in the loop. It's always very useful. And if you're working in automotive sector, actually we are showing the projects in Hitex in this webinar series only in automotive branch. So you can always look at AutoSAR framework. It's very useful, especially for hardware integration. And one managerial topic or organizational. Please protect your team from any external organizational interrupts. Under external, I mean external from your client and also external from your organization, from your department, from your boss. Please remain, if you would like to work in Scrum, please remain all your requirements stable during one sprint. It's really very important. Do not make any mess and save time and energy of your team. You can always make changes in your requirements, prepare the change requests and any other supporting documentation, but only after the end of the sprint. Usually sprints are 2 weeks long, so it's not very much time. You can always make any changes in your project after the sprint end. So please do not make any changes during the sprint. It's really very important. And yeah, keep your team work stable during the sprint period of time. In any case, I need to say that when we are talking about embedded systems, especially about hardware development in embedded systems, Agile and Scrum, they are not surefire success, to be honest. For instance, in Hitex, we are mainly working in classical project management and sometimes semi-agile in hybrid project management, but we are using not so oft Scrum because it's really very hard, especially to combine it with hardware development. In any case, if you want to select Scrum for your project, Scrum can help you with continuous development as a project manager. Scrum is not static development process. It's not classical project management. So it means that you will be also, you must every day make changes in framework conditions and project environment to suit these changes in your project, to accept them. So it means that you will be in continuous improvement as a project manager. Probably it's an advantage for you. And of course, Scrum enables team with good infrastructure, with regular deliveries to customers. And of course, Scrum provides some new methods to consider concerns of embedded systems. It's also very important. So it was about compatibility paradigm. So it depends on you to work with Scrum in hardware development or not. Yeah, my advice is to work in a little bit more combination style. The best option will be hybrid project management, which is already a combination of classical and Agile manifesto frameworks. And we will look at it in more details. But firstly, I would like to mention several questions, and I propose you to answer on these questions, and then with these answers, decide your project management style. First of all, when you have your new project on the table, you need to think how much deliveries do you need to present to the customer and which type of deliveries they are. Is it a clear final outcome to you and how you are planning working towards it? How you will control risks? Is it possible at least to control this risk? Will it limit your commitment? The role of clients, sponsors, and stakeholders in the project, at which priority they are, and how they pay attention and how they influence on project functionality, budget, and schedule. Also, team availability. Sometimes there is a problem then that you don't have enough resources. Please think about this and adjust this in advance. Find people, calculate the availability of your team, and also check their experience. If there are any lack of skills or experience in programming or in hardware development, please think in advance about trainings, about improvement of skill sets. Of course, when we are speaking about team, you need to think about yourself and also think about your lack of skill sets and your experience. If there are some gaps, please think about them in advance and prepare yourself for a new project with some trainings, with some communication, with some expert communications. Yeah, please be ready for the project in advance. And of course, last but not least, how you familiar with the tasks in the project and how it's important to make innovation meeting or client brief meeting. So in any case, I kindly advise you to prepare acquisition phase of the project and discuss every task, every module development in your project during the acquisition phase. And of course, prepare yourself, your team for the kickoff with your client. During kickoff meeting, you can introduce yourself, introduce your team, show the main project milestones, show the project timeline, project budget, and of course, you can ask about some tricky topics in the tasks. And sometimes it can be so that clients want a little bit or they see a little bit another picture of the project as you already shown. So it means during kickoff, you can get really what client wants from you. So it's really very important to make kickoff meeting. So please think about it in advance. So let's say you have already answered honestly on all of these questions. You have already some picture of your project. And now I would like to introduce you hybrid project management. What is important? On previous slide, we have already spoke about deliveries, about budget functionality, and number of revisions. So depending on number of revisions and numbers of delivery, you can choose your project. For instance, if your customer need only one-time delivery, let's say in few months final product, you can always choose a classical project management. It's already stable, predictive method with one-time delivery without any interruptions. Quite good working, especially for the embedded systems. If you need a lot of number of revisions and your deliveries life cycle is also has a lot of milestones, it's better to choose Agile project management. It's very adaptive, flexible way, so you can always adjust everything during several times of deliveries. But what to do if you need a highly iterative, but at the same time, highly incremental project? I propose you to use hybrid project management. As you already see on this slide, it's a combination of an adaptive or agile project management and classical or predictive project management. So with a hybrid approach, you can deliver your product several times to the customer, make a lot of revisions, and be stable and flexible at the same time. So we already know that hybrid project management is a combination of classical and agile. So how it solves the problems in both of these styles? In any case, we have some constraints in classical and some constraints in agile approach. So first of all, let us look on them. Communication with customer. In classical project management, you always has a limited amount of time. So it means that sometimes it's lack of time to really get needs of your end users, to get responsive feedback from them, to adjust these findings. At the same time, Agile project management is very user-focused. You will always have a communication with your customer, a lot of adjustments, but this style of communication is very expensive. Then long-term planning in your project. Sometimes in classical project management, you have long-term goals, long-term projects, but these projects are very stable developed and there is not enough flexibility in them. At the same time, in Agile, it's really hard to manage long-term projects because actually Agile plan for quite small and frequently delivered projects. So it's really hard to get long-term deliveries with Agile. Complexity. Actually, complexity was a key topic of previous webinar. So I suppose that you know already some important information about this. In any case, classical project management is suited to manage large and complex projects with long-term planning, but sometimes some work packages in these projects need to be simplified. And of course, Agile can help with this. At the same time, Agile is not developed for huge complexity projects. It's really hard to handle complexity between hardware and software integration and interdependencies in their integration. But combination of both of them, so classical plus Agile, so actually hybrid project management, can solve these problems. And of course, time and budget, always a tricky point for project management. In classical project management, we always calculate our working time and budget based on past records. Sometimes these calculations are suitable for us, sometimes they are wrong. But with Agile project management, situation came to more difficulties because in Agile, especially in complex projects, it's really hard to make a robust estimation of your budget and schedule. In any case, both of these problems can be solved with hybrid project management approach, and we will look at it in few slides. So, hybrid mindset. How works hybrid as a combination of classical and Agile? First of all, you need to divide your project on small pieces of time, so to make your project time boxed. And at the end of each time box, you will have your delivery. First of all, it's very useful because small steps can get results in hands of customer as quickly as possible. During small period of time, you will be focused on important things first. In classical part of hybrid mindset, your work will be still planned, but your steps will be smaller within one time box. And of course, at the end of each time box, your deliveries will be working. So after end of each time box, you will deliver your product. It will be probably tested. It depends on the project. In any case, it will be checked by your customer, and sometimes there will be some findings which will be sent as feedback to you as quickly as possible. So it's really very good working principle. Then I propose you to use in hybrid mindset, let's say Kanban ideology, to use Kanban boards and to see a continuous flow of your tasks in the project with to do work and done status. So it's really good to pay enough attention on your task to track your progress and do not forget anything to do. And of course, team. In hybrid mindset, it can be a multi-departmental, so a team from several departments. In any case, it will be cross-functional team, especially in embedded systems. It will be software developers, functional safety managers, hardware developers, so a lot of specialists. And what is more important, hybrid is combination of classical project management communication plus agile communication. So you will get continuous feedback from them. And probably the most important advantage of hybrid mindset with combination of classical and agile project management, your risk will be reduced and quality increased. And what is also not bad, your target in the project can be corrected during the project lifecycle. It's really difficult to do with a project with classical project management, but with hybrid mindset, you really can change your scope of the project during the project. So sometimes it's really good to have this approach. So how work in project management approach? Above, we have fully predictive project life cycle. So the classical project management, which starts with going to the V model, is define, plan, deliver, and test. And then we are done. What if you want to go to the hybrid project management? I propose you to make your deliver step in some iterations. So it means that already make your deliver phase of the project time boxed. And after each delivery, you will make your test process and then you're done. For instance, if you have some modules to be developed, several drivers, you can deliver and test to make your deliver and test process per driver. So it means deliver, test, and send to your customer each driver and then get feedback. Or you can go even more specific hybrid project management to make your interactions already from plan stage. You can plan your module in advance, develop, deliver it, and test. So actually in Hitex, we are working in this style, normally in this boss. So we are already starting our iterations from deliver phase, sometimes from plan phase. This is full. This example, which is below, is fully adaptive, so it's classical agile approach. So of course you can always work in it, but in embedded systems it's quite difficult to start iteration already from define, especially when you're working with hardware development. You need to make your define, or let's say concept, in advance. If you will change your concept, it will be really difficult to continue hardware development. Yeah, but in any case, this example exists. We as Hitex did not work in it, so actually we prefer these two models of work. But in any case, you can try it, and probably you will get perfect results. Now I would like to show you some methods in hybrid project management. It's a combination of Agile and Kanban. So normally we have Agile sprint with work backlog, with incremental phase, with Agile or Scrum meetings. So I propose you to combine your Agile approach with Kanban, especially with Kanban boards. It will help you to prepare your work in progress limits. In any case, it will be helpful to prepare you for your meetings, to get team priorities, to set up the goals during one sprint. And this combination really makes your project more visible and process flow can be optimized. Another method is water agile flow. I really like this method. Actually, in our current project in Hitex, we are working mainly in this method. So the idea is, first of all, waterfall model. So we are dividing our project on several phases, or let's say in several working packages. And as in a Gantt chart, after the end of phase 1, we are going to the phase 2 and then to the phase 3. And in each of the phase, we'll have our agile. So we will have our agile sprint with work backlog, with our goal. And at the end of each phase, we will have delivery to our customer, and we will have testing. What's the advantage of this method? First of all, it runs traditionally and in agile style at the same time. And it gives your project the possibility to be stable and flexible. It controls your time and budget. So in any case, I really advise you to use this method. And one more method is combination of V, software development model, with Agile. So it means that at some parts of your V model development, you will work in classical project management, in some parts as Agile project management. At the level of setting of business needs and project goals, you will still work partially in classical, partially in Agile. Then from the product vision and product features, so it's already a requirement specification, you will do product backlog, and it's already Agile part. In the functional task, you will work iteratively, so you will have several backlogs, iteration backlogs. And coming back to testing, then you will have several deliveries, and coming back to testing, you will work again in classical project management. This approach is also not bad. You can work in this approach if your embedded systems are mainly focused on software development. In hardware development, you will always have a problem of integration hardware and software. So you must align this with V-model in software development. But in any case, it's already working principle. You can always choose it. And now, so last but not least, I would like to show you our Hitex example. So at the beginning of this year, we have started project for the middleware development for one of our exports. In the project, we had the concept phase and development phase. So concept phase we have already finished. Now we are in development phase. And in concept phase, we have worked in classical project management. It was only one-time delivery at the end. And the concept definition was done only once. And it was straightforward process. We already know it from the V model. It's define, develop, deliver, and test. In development phase, we are working semi-agile. It means that we are combining Kanban plus sprint plus agile. We have weekly sprints, which is prepared really in sprint style. We have Kanban boards to track our tasks in status continuous development, in work, and done. We have iterative process. We have several milestones as alpha delivery, beta delivery, release candidate, and product release. And what is more important, we are working in development and testing of our modules in parallel. So I will come back to several slides. So actually, we are working in this project in this style, deliver and test in parallel, and then coming back to another module. So as a whole project, I can say that we are working in hybrid project management because we are combining a classical project management from concept phase and semi-agile from development phase. I can already say that the results of this project are better than classical project management approach. We already saved our time, saved our money, and with several deliveries. And we have more confidence to really get client needs proper and to prepare them proper, to prepare our product proper to their needs. So in any case, we didn't finish this project, so it's still running. But in any case, I'm really very satisfied with this project results. So actually, that's all for today from my side. If you have any questions, as Wolfgang already mentioned, after the end of this webinar, you will see a questionnaire, or you can always ask your questions via info@hitex.de, or you can send me an email. My email will appear at the end of the presentation. So thank you very much for your attention. This webinar you can get on our website. Please, also you can get this webinar on our YouTube channel. Please subscribe to it. Also on our website, you can see another webinars which are dedicated to more technical topics like ARMS development, Aurix, safety leap, safety pack. If you're interested in these topics, please watch these webinars. They're already recorded. And in Hitex, if you're interested in engineering, in hardware, software development, testing, training, please contact us. We are specialists in this area. Also, we are doing middleware software components development. And of course, we have huge production possibilities. We manufacture ODM, CMs. We perform in servicing, packaging. So we will be glad to support you in your embedded system projects. Please contact us. And I would like to say thank you for your attention and let you start your successful project. Probably you will select hybrid project management mindset. I hope so. In any case, this mindset is very helpful. So below you can see my email address. You can always contact me and ask your questions. Yeah. So thank you and have a nice day.